Holy, you have authority. When you have dominion, you are proud. But when you have authority, you are humble. Because you know that the power to that authority comes from somewhere else. When you have dominion, the power of dominion comes from within you. But now that dominion is not there, we have authority. If you are not humble, you cannot make it.
The service featured car ministrations and prayers for the state and nation at large. From the government house, Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News. Relatively, it was all praises to God amidst testimonies during the grand reception and Thanksgiving service in honor of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Nyaundo Ndayo. Womedimo Samson reports that the ceremony was held at the Apostolic Church Nigeria Uyo for District Uyo Field at Bible State. The report.
According to the Holy Bible, gratitude is one of the greatest Christian virtues, while ingratitude is one of the most vicious sins. The above biblical precepts may have motivated the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Obiofort District, and Obiofort area, Uyofio, Akwa Ibom State Territory, to organize a grand reception and Thanksgiving service in honor of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Elder Professor Nyaundo Ndayo, following his elevation to the current position as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo. In his message, Apostle I.N. George, who preached on the topic, "What will you be remembered for?" admonished Christians to always be fair to all in any leadership position they are entrusted with. Apostle George, while giving relevance to Professor Ndayo's upliftment, says it is pertinent to give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever.
Ndayo was appointed an elder in this assembly further in 2003, and he has remained an elder in this assembly. He is very, very unassuming. The captain money always support him. He was a prayer leader. If Elder Ndayo does not tell you he's a professor, you will not even know. And never for once raise his shoulder. He is a very humble person. We are on the side. And therefore, only Church Nigeria and Bible Territory Uyo Field. I congratulate Elder Professor Ndayo.
In their goodwill messages, groups, individuals, and family members described Professor Ndayo as humble, pragmatic, intelligent, and accommodating leader who has a forward mindset to lead with the fear of God. During the Thanksgiving, the celebrants used the opportunity to reference God for his blessings, support, and upliftment in his life.
Let me use the opportunity to especially thank my own district, the current district pastor of Obiofort District. Pastor Mom, wonderful human being, who taught the words, and together we tell God we save the request. I've done well in all occupation. Of course, if you do well, support the work of God. Don't you think that God will come that way? He will come. So that is showing my family in the name of Jesus Christ.
The service also featured praises, song ministration, thanksgiving, and prayers for the family, state, and nation at large. In Uyo, Uwemedimo Samson, NTA News.
Christians have been advised to offer to God tithes and offerings as commanded by God in the Holy Scriptures in order to reap bountiful blessings. A cross-section of Christians spoke with NTA News on the benefits of tithes and offerings. Emily Moore will tell us more.
The practice of Christians paying tithe and offering to God is a biblical obligation by God as contained in the Holy Bible. According to Christians, the biblical account of Malachi chapter 3 verse 10 to 12 reels out the blessings attached to Christians who abide by the injunction to pay tithes. Despite the word of God, which emphasizes on the importance of offering to God and its benefits, some Christians do not really consider paying their tithe. Quoting relevant scriptures, the clerics maintain that consistent payment of tithe and offering to God boosts God's blessings, as well as enable Christians to overcome the antics of the devil.
You're not giving to the pastor. You're not giving to individuals. You're giving for the work of the ministry. The offering that we take in church is not pocketed by the pastors that know their God. It's for the expansion of the kingdom, the evangelism, the missions. Okay, the work of in fact, reaching out even to the poor in the midst of God's people.
In the New Living Translation, it says, yes, you should tithe, but don't forget the issue of showing mercy and love and justice to people. So to me, Jesus came to balance it up. You know, there's some people feel tithing is an Old Testament doctrine, but Jesus did not come to condemn it. He came to affirm it. God has blessed you. Okay, you give. The Bible says, it talked about the widow's mite. The widow's mite is not about the amount the widow put, but that the widow put all that she had. Little though it was, but it mattered to Christ. So for us, when we are giving offering, let's give it in commensurate measure with the blessing of God in our lives.
Some Christians speak on the benefits they derive when they offer to God.
It's important that we even offer and pay our tithes. So it's important, it will bring about blessing from God.
Tithing and offering is just like a commandment. A very normal father will instruct a child on what to do, and you being a child, you have to obey your father. So that's what we are doing, obeying God. So how I tithe, I won't get in returns, and when I'm getting in returns, I don't get exactly what I give. I get more than what I give.
The Holy Bible says, God will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and all nations shall call you blessed when tithes and offerings are adhered to. The Holy Bible says, God will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and all nations shall call you blessed when tithes and offerings are adhered to. This is the hope of Christians as they look forward to obeying God's commandment. In Uyo, Emedionmo, NTA News.
Now, away from religious matters, 103 beneficiaries comprising of next of kin, as well as police officers involved in various degrees of accidents in the line of duty, have received check worth 49 million naira. Akwa Ibom State Commissioner of Police, while presenting the checks to the beneficiaries on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, says the police authority is committed to the welfare of its officers. Clement Barikwi will complete this story.
The Group Life Assurance and Personal Accident Scheme are initiatives of the police authority to cater for the welfare needs of widows, next of kin of fallen heroes, as well as officers who involved in one accident or the other in the line of duty. Commissioner of Police Akwa Ibom State Command Olatoye Duresimi, while presenting the checks to the beneficiaries on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, says the IGP shares in their pains and is committed to ameliorating their hardship. CP Duresimi urged them to use the funds wisely, noting that the IGP's gesture will further encourage serving officers to put in their best.
The token that is coming out today for the IGP is to encourage you to work harder, and for the widows who are here is to let you know that the police will not forget you. If an officer falls in the course of doing police work, the family, especially the children, will be taken care of through this scheme.
A total of 123 next of kins and officers benefited from the Police Group Life Assurance and Personal Accident Scheme in Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Clement Barikwi, NTA News.
From the Federal Road Safety Corps, henceforth, any motorist who drives against traffic in Akwa Ibom State will be subjected to psychiatric tests and made to bear the cost. The State Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Commission Matthew Olonishai, stated this in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Clement Barikwi will again take it up from here.
Available statistics by the Federal Road Safety Commission shows that 1,441 lives have been lost in Nigeria between January and March 2023 due to road crashes. These deaths result from 2,733 crashes. Wrong-way driving, also referred to as driving against traffic, is among the leading cause of these deaths. Investigation reveals that pedestrians are the major victims of wrong-way driving, and the most pathetic is that some of these drivers engaged in what is popularly referred to as hit and run. In Akwa Ibom State, for instance, wrong-way driving constitutes nuisance on major roads such as the new Ring Road 3 and the Idongesen-Kanga Way.
The issue of one way along this place is also another serious factor, because some of these vehicles that want to come and maybe pour laterite for people around here, when they turn, they want to use one way. They will not want to go and turn the other way.
Driving against the traffic is very, very, very dangerous. It's quite unfortunate that people that do that, they need, even without anybody telling them, they are supposed to go and meet a specialist, a critic, that they are sick or they are sick mentally. So please, they need help.
The Federal Road Safety Commission says it is strategizing on ways to bring perpetrators to book.
Yes, what we'll do is we will continue to sensitize members of the public on the dangers inherent in driving against the traffic. We'll use our public education department to ensure that people comply with the rules and regulations guiding the usage of the road.
For now, pedestrians must apply caution while crossing or walking on the affected roads to avoid being a victim of wrong-way driving. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
An era where nursing mothers pursue careers and at the same time nursing babies is of utmost concern. Addressing this challenge is the reason for the building and inauguration of a crèche by the Nigerian Medical Association at Akwa Ibom State branch to help reduce the burden of the working class mothers. Utibe Achibon will complete the story.
Inaugurating the facility, the chairperson Nigerian Medical Association Akwa Ibom State branch, Dr. M. Abraham, says it has become pertinent to set up the center to attend to babies while the parents are away trying to meet up daily needs. The crèche, which is open to all categories of parents and caregivers, Dr. Abraham notes will be manned by trained minders and health professionals to cater for all, including the health needs of the infants.
Young mothers who have the responsibility of caring for their children, but they also have a career to pursue and also contribute to the economy of the family. So how do they cope so that no aspect of their life suffers? The answer to this question is the birth of this crèche and daycare center.
For chairman on the occasion, Mr. Uwe Mokoko, the facility can pass for the best as it is well designed just to meet the purpose it is meant for.
Yeah, it's top notch. It's one of the best in the states, and being affiliated to NMA, you will be rest assured that there will be NMA certified pediatrician will be here to take care of the children. So I encourage all parents to take their children here.
Some friends and supporters of the association applauded the medical professionals for the feat and pledged their continued and unwavering support, especially in the area of finance.
That is being run by medical doctors, and we expect the highest standard, of care for the babies. And again, the touch of doctors shows again that the medical health of the babies will be taken care of.
First lady, chairman of NMA, and she has done this for the mothers to drop your father. Upbringing of children, the crèche that we send our children to is very, very important because children learn very fast.
This project by the Nigerian Medical Association Akwa Ibom State branch is the first of its kind. In Uyo, Utibe Achibon, NTA News.
Let's now join Bate Adele for sports updates.
Team Nigeria Scrabble players and officials have arrived at the United States of America for the 2023 World Indie Scrabble Players Association Championship, scheduled to commence on 22nd July at Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Nigeria's women's 4x400 meters relay team have secured their ticket to Budapest 2023 World Athletics Championships at the Deji Tinubu Lagos Series, which ended at Yaba Technical College. The quartet clocked in 3 minutes 27.61 seconds to displace Dominican Republic from the 15th spot, while the men's 4x400 meters relay team narrowly missed out on securing a spot in the event.
We've qualified, we are inside the qualification for the 4x4 women. We are number 14 in the world right now, and it will be, I believe it will be a little bit difficult to remove us from that position.
Nigeria's Super Falcons continued their preparation for the FIFA Women's World Cup with an 8-1 whooping of Australian club Lions FC in the early hours of Saturday. The 9-time African champions, who are in Group B of the tournament, alongside Olympic champions Canada, Australia and Republic of Ireland, will get their campaign underway against Canada on July the 21st at the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium in Australia. And finally, Czech Republic's unseeded Marketa Vondrousova stunned Tunisia's Ons Jabeur 6-4-6-4 to win the 2023 Wimbledon Women's Singles Final on Saturday. Vondrousova is the first unseeded player to win the title in the professional era. With sports updates, Bade Adeleye, NT News.
We will take a short commercial break here. Newscope will continue with more basic thereafter. Don't go.
Roseville Hotel. Come, feel the luxury of our contemporary hotel. We offer lodging and accommodation. Stay at our deluxe executive and luxury suites for your comfort. Experience extravagant dining and delicious meals by expert chef. Lounge at our exquisite VIP bar. Enjoy 24 hours power supply with free Wi-Fi services. Our security system is top-notch to ensure your safety. Ample parking space and laundry services available. The ambience is serene to make your stay memorable. We are located at number 1 Julius Badger Road off House of Assembly Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. For reservations, call 070-650-41139. Roseville Hotel, hospitality at its best.
Glad to know that you are there. You are still watching Newscope. And to our very first report, the family of late Eteka Imelda Ayomba went before God in appreciation for his numerous blessings, sustenance, and provisions during the funeral rites of their mother, grandmother, and auntie. R&M reports that the Thanksgiving Mass was held at St. Bernard Catholic Church, Marian Hill, Calabar.
Children, grandchildren, in-laws, colleagues, friends, and family members turn out in their numbers to celebrate the life and times of late Eteka Imelda Ayomba at the St. Bernard Catholic Church, Calabar, where prayers were offered for the family.
We came to thank God. He did us well. He gave us a good mother, a loving mother. I was shocked at the praises that was poured on our mother yesterday. And it's a way forward to us tonight.
Family members, Friends extol the styling qualities of the deceased as they described her as irreplaceable.
My mom, I would call her an indomitable lion, an only daughter of an illiterate woman, but look how far she has come. She has left behind 6 Amazons as daughters. Not one has departed. 14 grandchildren, not one has departed. 4 great-grand, not one has departed. My mom was an astute administrator, a devout Catholic, a strict disciplinarian, a no-nonsense woman. Her yes was her yes. She had embraced so many people, so she had done so many things for humanity that when we even heard in church, we were like, this is our mother they're talking about. She was 100 women in one.
I really miss just my grandma being here. First of all, I miss being able to just come into her house, and every time I come, she always had something. She always kept something for everybody. So she would say, this is for you and this is for your sister. So I miss those little things.
Ma Etieka, Mrs. Imelda Ayonba, was a mother-in-law in a million. In fact, she was a sister.
Ma was somebody that was humane, somebody that was very compassionate, somebody that loved people around her, and I'm one of them. I can attest to that fact. So she was a good woman.
The Thanksgiving service brought dignitaries from far and near who commiserated with the family of the deceased. In Calabar, Arut Ndem, NTA News.
Rest in peace, a phenomenal mother. And to our next report now, a 2-year-old pre-nursery school pupil, Onoserebe Omoria, has died as a result of a stray bullet allegedly fired by NDLE operatives on the trail of drug offenders in Asaba, Delta State. Young brother of the victim also suffered an eye injury in the incident. Tessie Koka followed the circumstances surrounding the story in Asaba and filed in this report.
This is Okbanam Road in Asaba, the Delta State capital. Opposite here is the shop of the mother of late Little Onoserebe, where the unfortunate incident took place.
I'm in here at the shop of Mrs. Hilda Omoria. She was sitting here on that fateful day attending to her little kid, Onoserebe Omoria, who had returned from school. She was actually feeding the child before the unfortunate incident. This is the other chair here. The bullets, the stray bullets from the security operatives pierced in here and made its way through the door of the shop.
Little Onoserebe Omohai would have been graduating from pre-nursery school in Asaba next Monday before his innocent life was cut short by a stray bullet from security operatives. On that fateful day, the father was said to have dropped him off from school at his mother's shop.
NDLE, I don't know where they are going to. Anywhere they go, I go. Anywhere they go, I go. They have killed my family.
Still clinging to his school bag where he had his graduation uniform, it was a bright future ahead of him. But for what happened?
My son was standing in front of me. I heard an explosion, and before you know it, I saw my son on the floor. Then it seems his intestine were kind of purging out. I quickly held him, put my hands on that particular area. Then I was wondering what, I didn't just know, I was just shouting, what is this? Where is this from? I carried my son. As I was pressing my hand on it, I looked at my other son, his eyes. I don't know, I can't even explain what I saw in that one's eyes.
For the father of the victim, Fidelis Omoria, he found it difficult to come to terms with the shocking news that has sent his family into mourning.
So immediately, less than 3 minutes, my wife just called me that something happened to them. But what they notice is there are NDLE pursuing guys around that sells drugs around the neighborhood. And the neighbor came and said, bros, you go want to shoot for there. Now you go enter here when you kill your person and start my car, start following them, doing the video.
Eyewitness bear her account.
I heard a lady upset. She was shouting. It was even her shout that brought us out.
The police public relations officer, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Bright Daffy, who spoke through a telephone conversation, says the command will unravel the cause of the incident.
The CP has directed the matter be transferred to State CID. As I speak with you, the matter is already being investigated by the State Criminal Investigation Department of the Delta State Police Command.
I placed a phone call on the Commandant Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Delta State, but he did not pick.
Calling is not answering. Please try again later.
For now, the parents are still not seeing their surviving son at the Federal Medical Center, Asaba, hoping that justice will be done. In Asaba, Tessie, Koka, NTA News.
A very sad one there, and we pray that justice would be done. Have you heard about river horse or seen one outside the zoo? Well, our next story is one that will remain indelible in the minds of many, especially the people of Benue State. It is about an unimaginable feat by youth from Adeke and Ebete communities in Agatu local government area of Benue State, who overpowered and killed a hippopotamus, which has been causing harm to their farmers and fishermen over the years. The Cameroon Ladoja tells us more.
According to community members, the hippopotamus comes out from the River Benue crossing point at Owetu in Agatu local government area. The hippopotamus, they say, has attacked fishermen from their communities, with some losing their lives, and neither their farmlands nor houses have been spared by the hippo. The youths in the community say they reached out to wildlife conservation authorities in the state but received no response, which led the communities to resort to self-help.
And it normally enter the boundary, the river Benue, between the Natural and Benue. So when it comes, people find it difficult to farm, to do other activities. Some fishermen and farmers, they team up and went to the particular area and they went in hunting for this mama. And when it saw them, he started coming towards them in order to hurt them. But to the glory of God, it was killed, and the people of the area restore their activities. Now they can go about farming, doing other things, doing their fishing activities.
One-time vice chairman of Agatu local government and youth leader John Ikulono confirms that the hippopotamus has been plaguing the communities for years.
That yenyi or the hippopotamus have been killing people for a very long time now in Agatu. The fishermen hardly go for their fishing activities. The farmers hardly also go for their farming activities as well, for the fear of being attacked by the hippopotamus. There were two, male and female. The one they killed was male. The female is still there. And then it was not a funny experience at all, because this particular hippopotamus has been destroying boats that normally ferry people across the river and then to go and attend to their businesses. And so not only destroying the boat, as soon as the boat capsized, the people there too will be drawn, and that has been happening for years now.
Iquilono admits that the killing of the hippo has been received with mixed feelings, as some feel it should have been conserved, while for the community it's an end to the attacks.
Over the years, like I told you, they have reported the matter. It wasn't just that they have reported the matter, but nobody was able to come to their rescue, even though other people are looking at it from another dimension. But I believe the decision they took was the best decision. This is because you now have, before you, that monster that has been wiping away people's life from the surface of the earth.
To avoid the continuous loss of life as well as wildlife, members of the communities say government should capture the remaining hippopotamus. In Makudi, Ekemeren Kaneng Ladoja, NTA News.
Well, thanks to the youth of Agatu community, now the people there, the farmers and the fishermen, can have peace. Just for being a widow, most women not only grieve over the death of their spouses, but most times suffer inheritance tussles, deprivation, stigma, and discrimination. Their plight, though a common thread that binds most societies, especially in Nigeria, persist despite significant effort to counter the narrative. Our next report features the special case of Cecilia Ojebe in a boy state, whose story, Fortunate also says, can only be a miracle.
Mrs. Cecilia Ojebe hails from Igwemiri village in Oposumowara, Eza North Council area of Ebonyi State. She lost her husband 25 years ago, and as she was about getting a relief from the death of her husband, lost her 2 surviving sons, leaving her with a daughter-in-law and grandchildren to cater for. As if grief was not ready to leave her abode, came the collapse of the only mud house she inherited from her late husband. Having been rendered homeless, her daughter-in-law also left with her children as she could not bear with the situation.
I am happy and I thank God for giving me and my family life and good health. And I pray that God will bless Nwaka for remembering a forgotten person like me.
Light, however, shone at the end of the tunnel when another widow, Mrs. Nwake Gongore, on sighting and hearing her story, decided to put a smile on the face of Mrs. Cecilia Ojebe, who seems to have forgotten what happiness feels like by erecting a 2-bedroom bungalow for her.
Because in this compound where she's married to, they go around, carrying her to sleep there, they will pursue her today, the next day. But one woman was abusing her that she will die, she will never even enter another mud house. Because where her husband died 25 years ago, and the house collapsed. Traditionally built for her, so no hope.
Just as a maggot-infested wood attracts ants, the news of the shelter brought back her daughter-in-law, grandchildren, family members, and well-wishers.
And I told God that I am ready to do what you have asked me to do. Say, go and build for her. Go and build for her. That is what I'm doing today.
The widow, who seems to have forgotten her 20 years of homelessness, was full of smiles, especially for the household utensils also purchased for her. She encouraged others not to be discouraged, as help will surely come their way.
I later survived and I am still alive to witness this good thing that happened to Nwaka. Everywhere you go, you shall be lifted to higher positions.
God bless well-meaning Nigerians who have continued to reach out to the widows. We also owe them that responsibility to put a smile on their faces. And to ecological issues, topography, poor refuse management, poor drainage system and blocked drains are some of the factors contributing to flooding along Atiku Abubakar Avenue in Uyo Metropolis. Wisdom Jacob, who visited the area, reports that the continuous flow of flood water is affecting businesses and other activities in the area.
Atiku Abubakar Avenue is one of the major roads in Uyo Metropolis, linking other roads in the city where different types of businesses thrive. As the rains intensify, the running water from different parts of the city converge on the area, leading to flooding, which in turn affects human and vehicular movement as well as economic activities. A visit to the area by NTA News crew indicates that the topography of the area, blocked drains, poor refuse management, and sand accumulation brought in by rainwater are some of the causes of flooding in the area.
This water is a disaster for us and the community. For the past 2 weeks, we have been like this. Our business is down, and we have been trying our best to evacuate the gutter to ensure that this water runs off. But it's highly impossible now that we can't do anything. There's a tunnel here, and that tunnel is blocked completely. So the water now is passing by filtration.
This water is not just affecting me, it's affecting the school and it's affecting the whole residents of this area. You see that it's a community challenge. People who live opposite the school, the street opposite, they can't even get into their houses.
When the rain comes, it comes inside the side and then spoil the blocks for us.
The last 2 weeks now, this one has been falling
have been falling here and be disturbing both our car wash, the place we are doing business, both everything we are doing. We didn't say food to eat because we are regular based earning workers.
Residents are calling on government and relevant agencies to intervene.
I really appeal to the government to come in and do this to help people. As for the parents, conveying their children into school has not been easy.
I've not been having it as bad as this. This is the worst scenario we've experienced so far. We are trusting government to please help us remove this water.
We are begging on the government to do something about it. Yes.
What we need now is a new drainage so that the water will be going off after rain.
We want the government intervention to come and rescue us in this place, to come and do this gutter for us and remove this dumping point in this place. Because the major thing that causes this flood is this dumping point.
According to respondents, the flood water is posing health challenges to residents of the area. Wisdom Jacob, NTA News.
Thank you, Wisdom. We'll take a break now to pay some bills. More reports when we're back. Don't go away.
Welcome to Prisma International Hotels, located at number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afagafort, Overback Road, Uyu. When it comes to hospitality industry, nothing compares with comfort, exquisite services, and top-of-the-world security. These are what make Prisma Hotels a household name. At Prisma Hotels, you are assured of lavishly furnished, spacious rooms and suites with complimentary breakfast, top-class blue sea swimming pool, VIP and poolside bars, as well as restaurant where African and continental dishes are served at pocket-friendly rates. These are not all. There is high-speed internet service, closed-circuit television, spacious car park, 24-hour power and water supply, sparkle laundry and dry cleaning services, and above all, combat-ready security operatives. So whenever you are in Uyo or you are a resident in Uyo, capital city of Akwa Ibom State, make Prisma Hotels number 5 Efangosanga Street, Tafarafort, Overback Road, Uyo, your choice, and you will cherish the experience. For bookings and inquiries, please call 081-3166-6660 or 0915-509-9989. Prisma International Hotels, hospitality par excellence.
Welcome to the concluding part of Newscope. Following the fuel subsidy removal and the subsequent adjustment in fuel pump price, motorists are always on the lookout for petrol stations that sell the product at a discounted price. But this appears not to be the case in Akwa Ibom State, where some motorists are opting for black markets, not minding the costs. Clement Barakwi finds out why the situation is so.
Sales of fuel in jerrycans along major streets and roads, popularly known as black market, is generally common whenever there is fuel scarcity. Today, the product is available with most petrol stations almost empty, yet there is increase in black market of fuel in Uyo, the state capital. These black marketers are selling at 600 naira per litre against 550 naira being sold at the petrol stations, yet some motorists, particularly commercial drivers, prefer them. Why?
This 2 liters now, if you carry this 2 liters and go to the filling station to buy fuel, it will not complete, even though you buy complete 2 liters in the filling station.
This morning, sir, I buy fuel of 1,500 and even carry me up to 1 hour time. The thing finish. That's why I used to buy this black market.
Black market is better than filling station because of the meter.
Our product is not adulterated. We buy it from NNPC mega station.
For the independent petroleum marketers, this allegation of meter adjustment is not true.
We have a monitoring team, IPMA monitoring team, that monitors our members. If we have reports, we go. As you are telling me, if you pinpoint, I don't just mean you are mentioning the public. Just tell me. We will send our monitoring team to go and be sure of what the public is complaining of. Apart from our monitoring team, we have government agencies that are in charge of monitoring the quality of product dispensed from our pumps.
No matter how genuine the reasons put forward for the patronage of black market operators may be, some residents of Uyo insist it is illegal to hawk fuel in view of its attendant dangers, urging relevant authorities to enforce compliance. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
And still talking about the subsidy removal, necessity to say is the mother of all invention. This is the case as the hike in the pump price of the premium motor spirit following the removal of the fuel subsidy gave rise to the invention of use of gas to power the generating set. Beatrice Ayam tells us more.
In the wake of fuel subsidy removal by the federal government, this video on gas-powered generator went viral on social media.
Yeah, oh yes, life in Owerri, Umare Junction, you can now use your cooking gas instead of fuel. You know, PMS is very expensive. As you can see, the generator is running smoothly, very smooth, very sound.
To unravel the mystery behind powering the generating set with liquefied natural gas, LNG, otherwise known as cooking gas, our news crew set out to Umori in Owerri North local government area of Imo State in search of the workshop and the artisan in the trending video. Unfortunately, he was said to have left the area about 2 years ago. That did not, however, close the chapter as we discovered this artisan, Marcel Onamma, who also does exactly the same thing.
By the grace of God, I was surprised to see people coming around for the conversion. So, and I started trying to construct my own. When you get the carburetor kit, you get your cylinder and your hose. You can extend your hose as how many feet. So I construct it to work. I did it for my neighbor, a welder. He's using it. Perfect.
Our camera lens also captured our welder, Wisdom Amefula, who is already using the gas-powered generator in his workshop. He says it is more economical than the use of premium motor spirits.
We've been using this gas to help ourselves. Like if we buy a fuel of 4,000, maybe it lasts for us like a day and some hours. But since when we bought this gas, it has been like 3 days. Today is going to make it 3 days. So it's more better for us than the fuel.
As we all know, there is increment in fuel price and it's disturbing, you know. But with what is happening now, this invention will work far, will go far, and it will be more economical for everyone.
In our quest to ascertain the safety of this invention, we visited the office of the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Owerri, but the officials could not be reached. Although some experts in the petroleum sector who spoke off camera say the procedure is safe, Nigerians can only look forward to a public declaration by the regulatory agencies guaranteeing its safety. Until then, your guess on this new way of saving costs for power generation could just be as good as mine.
The hike in pump price has made Nigerians to actually start thinking out of the box. Moving on now, with the weather becoming cooler by the day, health experts are calling for caution to protect children from cold-related ailments. Utebachibon tells us more.
Cold weather, research shows, can increase the risk of illness and death from cough, lung and heart problems, poor mental health, among other health implications. It is observed that the weather has been extremely cold since June 2022, with lots of cold-related illnesses. And with the lingering cold weather, Nigerians, especially nursing mothers, are not leaving anything to chance, as they say it has become imperative that they do more than just visit the health facility. These parents who agree that the cold is beyond the usual also admit that children seem to be the most vulnerable.
It's not been easy on children having cold, catarrh, cough and all of that. Different experiences. Some of them at night you see them shaking, shivering and all of that. So most times it's just to protect them. Always putting on trousers for them, putting on cardigan for them in order to prevent it from coming and you rushing them to the hospital all the time.
It's very, very cold. I won't lie to you. That is part of the issue where we are here today. I'm treating my 2 kids. Cold is part of it. My only way of prevention is, like as you can see, they're having their cardigan with them. I make sure they wear cardigan at home. They put on their socks as well because of the towels. Because if a child is stepping on the towels with barefooted, it's not also good. Cold can easily enter from their foot.
You have to put on her pullover, or you keep her in a warm place so that it will not affect him.
A nursing officer in charge of an immunization unit of one of the primary health centers in Uyo Metropolis narrates her encounter with babies while reeling out some ways to stay healthy during the season.
Cold weather can affect children. If you don't cover the children very well, especially the babies, it can affect. This time, they can have what we call pneumonia. So, we cover the baby very well, wear the clothes that will cover to avoid air being entering.
Prevention, they say, is better than cure. This popular adage is becoming more relevant as it has become necessary to guard against extreme cold for a healthy living in Uyo. Utebe Achibong, NTA News.
And moving on, he grew up to become an electrical engineer after graduation and was gainfully employed in Akwa Ibom State. His dreams to fulfill his destiny as an engineer may have been truncated when the company he worked for laid him off in 2011. At the time when friends and relatives thought it was all over, the man in the picture gathered his pieces and now lives from proceeds raised from the bamboo tree. Clement Barkley takes it from here.
In every man lies one talent or the other that is waiting for the right time to manifest. This is Umo Ita, a man among such men whose talent may have been delayed but surely manifested when his blue sky turned grey. For more than 5 years after graduation, Umo could not discover his talent, and when the juicy offer of working with a company came, he quickly grabbed it with 2 hands. Who would love to miss such an opportunity, by the way?
I left my job 2011, so I ventured into other things, but I could not really make it out of that area. There was an end to everything, the business, everything went off.
Today, without any training, Umo is using bamboo trees to produce any kind of furniture, cup and kitchen cabinets and other utensils. With a visit to his home nicknamed Nature Garden, one is greeted with bamboo trees planted all over, and he has presently converted a section of his house into a workshop.
So it's the most common wood around our tropics. So we get boys to enter into the forests and they harvest this thing for us. We specify really what we want, because we are not using young bamboos. We are using something that is about 3 years, up to about 3 years. You soak them under the chemicals. You soak them and you keep them there for some months. Can be up to 1 month or more than that, depending on what you want. Because everything lies on the treatments. If you can't treat it well, you cannot make use of it. As you are working on it, the weevils, the powder posts, beetles is acting on it, so your job becomes useless.
Umo is happily married, and like the saying goes, behind every successful man, there is a woman who works hard to transform raw bamboos into furnitures.
I cannot just allow my husband to do something so beautiful. I'm not part of it. So I love the job and I'm very